See, you'll hear the Buddhists and some people say, or philosophies or whatever, and it gets pretty far out there really when you start getting away from the philosophy that comes out of the part of the organism that is sick, which is the mind orientation. See, there's two types of people to run into, and I'm going to keep refining this material. You can find it in all kinds of languages. I mean, all kinds of ways of trying to say it. Different people are trying to say this, and it's already here. I'm this version of actually condensing it down. It's very important on this plane to know what's happening here. On a very scientific level, like the technical term, like, well, why is everything so messed up politically, and the condition of the human organism being poisoned all the time, always, always. I don't know if you've noticed, but like, boy, if you really knew that there were two types of beings on this planet, like two types of accomplished states of being that are diametrically opposed, then you would join me in this conversation, and like just look with your imagination. Well, how can we see it? How could we bring it up if that's happening? Well, let's look back at all the diseases and discomfort that is there more and more. See people just accept it. It's not the right thing to accept. You see, there's that thing that says, well, just accept, and it's like, well, no. After a while, even a child knows, I don't like these green beans 100%. I'll probably never eat them for the rest of my life. I'm starting at age 3, though. And you do not tell me to just accept it because you have your own taste, right? I mean, there's a reason, though. There's a reason, there's a reason. And so having rejected green beans all that person's life, maybe they don't get so many kidney stones or something, or whatever their family is susceptible to. God, thanks for listening to this, babes. I'm trying to talk about a facet to look into. God, I saw it so perfectly. I wanted to be able to get back on that train and divvy it out. It has to do with I never talk about this on Facebook because the narcissistic scene and people aren't ready aren't even qualified as awarenesses to even hear this, because otherwise, see, they jump the fact that they need awareness, and then they get right to what they feel that, oh, that's no problem. I just find somebody, we get married, we have children, and blah. First thing, no, you got to make a bunch of money, right? And then do that. And okay, that's easy. And so who are thinking of that more? And I'm not biased, but men usually, women can do that. Narcissistic men are known to enslave their women into getting the job and start to believe it or not. It's a mind game. They're like, how do I? And if they could, yes, of course they would enslave somebody to do all of the heavy lifting and work. Yes, they are very like one-sided is what I mean. I don't want to say selfish. I want to say like lopsided. It's lopsidedness. They think that, well, if it's not for me, what do I want anything to do with that? It's like, no, you're doing it for the whole. You're doing it for everybody. You want it to look good, not just for you, but for everybody. You want to feel good, not just for you, but for everybody. Oh my God, feeling good? Do these people ever find a genuine place of feeling good that lasts, that's not so fleeting? I was going to say, not like the American happiness, that people just, they think an ice cream is it, and it temporarily fills up this amazing gap of needing to be fulfilled somehow, and boy, you can see the results of that physically around the world too, because it's not just, it's a plague. It's something that's left untalked about or unseen, and I'm trying to look into it. I'm coming at it from the angle of Buddhism, it's so helpful because it's all about the conversation of, well, do you know the difference between your mind and reality? See, this is really hard for me to talk about because it's the fact of that. Okay, so you can't take this personally that people are not graduated into being a real presence on this plane. They are still dealing with programming. It could be stuck in their DNA, right? They have a lot of trauma. This is what we call ancestral karmas, and then now you're this and you think you're that. What I mean is that you don't even think of the fact it's like, wait a minute, my biology and where am I? And what is this? I mean, you know what I mean? Yes. I've been through it. It's very fleeting at first, but when you get a whiff of the truth, the ultimate truth, really, the truth of truths, you can't go back. And first of all, I mean, you were meant to see it. I mean, no, some people will never even get this far in my conversation, and will I even get this far? I have to rehaul my whole communication system just to get back on YouTube, maybe. They want, well, first of all, their algorithms found something that I said on a video, and all I said was the word vaccines, and I didn't really say much about it, but I connected it with, well, some harm, and stuff like that. But that's a fact. It sometimes happens, and the thing is, it wasn't anything like anybody else would had said recently, what I've heard, but the information around it about satellites and the EMF waves and the metals and induction and however many ways and the escalation now, all around that one word. It was only a 6-minute video, and they said, "Oh, this is found to our community to be beef." Here's what's funny: out of the 1,300 videos I have, that's the only false information that I put up. How do we believe that mentality? Well, I'll tell you how. We think that, oh, this is a privilege. You are, Big Daddy is coming down the chimney. You better not shout, you better not cry, you better not pout, because I'm telling you why. I'm going to give you more of these clicks and whistles, but you better behave a certain way, or else I'm taking it all away, right? And kind of a feel, and everybody, there's a part of the organism, everybody, it is always thinking that they don't deserve, or they can't have, or even that other people shouldn't have it because they said bah, and it's just like this punishment reward system, right? That has nothing to do with, well, did you really get disciplined enough at something to where you pulled into a satisfactory feeling and there's your reward? I mean, that's really all up to you and nobody's business, but are you inside of your faculties, and are you figuring it out there? Because you're not going to be able to figure anybody else out or even share. And yes, this is what I wanted to talk about, how people, okay, so the autistic society, as you can call it, but it's really 80%. I say it's 90 fucking 99, not 0.99, possibly, babe, that they are suffering with the illusion of mind. It's called Maya in Buddhism for 8,000 years and beyond. It's called Maya, illusion, caused of mind. And see, now it's not so bad, when you figure out that all of this life is Maya. In fact, it is an illusion. But now we have illusion on top of illusion, and that on top of illusion on top of illusion. You've seen that the dollies that you keep opening it up, and they keep going like this, and where is it? And it's like, well, it's in the illusion. It was never here in the first place. Where is it? See, and so there we go. I would love to let go more, instead of, see, the narcissist, and the way that what's here plaguing our freedom from the illusion is the narcissist. They are so vacuous of their own presence. Really, they are there's thing going on inside from whenever it was that they were disenfranchised of their own system or their own senses. What I mean, their faculties of just getting their own body a lot of times, right? And as they were told, no, 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 many different shades of gray of this boundary breaking. That's, I would say it's normal, but then there's extreme, and which doesn't seem extreme, and it's like, no, actually that's terrible. And some people have a natural knack to shelter themselves, shelter their children away from basic things like, no, you can't influence like that, us like that. See, the language begins to sound very primitive when you start saying things like, you can't tell us what to do and stuff like that. It's just because you can't unhear things. So why would you say something like that? You know, if you don't want to hear what somebody's saying as a suggestion as to what to do, take your fucking earphones off or on, put them on. It depends on if you have a feed coming through there or over there, outside there. You really practice your own right to remain reality, which is the silent movie, which is now and developing a presence there. And this is where I get to be like, well, what's happening on this earth? That's just what looks right now is just a maze full of boxes of people living in a bubble, and they have no respect for each other. Really, they can't acknowledge each other's presence. Why? See, they don't even acknowledge their own presence. Is what I'm saying. You don't take it personally. See, this is the thing. Is like you just look at it, and 100%, it comes out in in a conversation. You want to transmit all that talking is. See, I'm a Buddhist, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is not me talking. This is the truth about talking. It's in case you're fucking confused. It's in case you're confused, then you need to talk. Then once talking happens, what we're trying to do is align to the truth. In reality, we're trying to get on the same page about something, maybe. But what is that? If it ends up that it's the illusion of mind, you're going to keep spinning around and talking shit, right? That's what we're in Babylon. So that's why I'm saying is like interacting. The plague is within this relating situation. You can see it. It just boils right up, right, with the two different types of people. One has fallen south and are technically sick. As Buddhists, we'll just say that, and because there's two types of people here. There are sick people, and then there are meditators. And meditators, they can come from a shallow point of meditation, which they meet you, but they're not a mind there still. They're not mind. They are actually scanning to see how much of a mind you are. And that often, right, it comes through conversation. Unfortunately, it has to, right? It's not like people are on the same page with their bodies in outer space, which I call reality this moment now. If you're watching this, you're not getting out of it. It's here. You can move your hands out and pretend like you shot an arrow and go and go and go. I mean, through Earth and all that, go through all matter and just consider the space that it's holding, that's holding on to all matter. You will go to the edges of the universe, right? Passing all of these galaxies. That's what I mean. But why don't we see all that? I mean, we are kind of bubbled up in here. It's okay. We might see it differently some other time here. We're working on it, right? If we can get away from the fucking narcissists' radiation, it's like a Gwyn Tower, babes, and they kind of set it up. There's some other thing going on that it's just because they know they can do it. It's just because they can do it. That's why it's happening. Anybody else have any ideas, and can they get it done? Because there is the idea department, the idea destroying department, or stealing, the idea sucking department. That really it's human ability, the way that a real life human being, not narcissists, but a few here and there in between, begin to channel and create different things like Tesla would, and all these different things, and also just the shamans, would be able to stay in connection with the true medicines, and the more that we would experience a society being disrupted by something, and I say they're aliens, which is just, you got a bright idea coming in, oh God, who is the one who takes it on, and why do they? Now, I say it's because they're a narcissist, and they don't know how to think for themselves. They don't know how to figure, well, see, it's okay to have a great alien come in, a great idea come in, and really have it work, and make it better for people and easier for people, but if it's actually passes through the insecurity of the narcissist, of course it's going to be misused and for power and stuff like that. Thanks for listening to this conversation. I'm not even getting close to the formula that I was coming up with what that I saw has everything to do. See, I never talk about this. about relationships and between not men and women, but now, yeah, forget the men and women thing. Let's just talk about relating and relationship. See that's where what we were looking at. If you want to know, you know, we we affect each other through the effect of the love that we are, the presence that we really are. I know that very much. You know that, and I'm tripping out on something that's like, no, this place needs love. Otherwise, it can be converted into a poison easily. See, the empath knows that. Comment section down below, hit like and subscribe if I even get this posted up. See, the YouTube channel is saying that I'm to put my ID up now and like to show them an ID and get rearrange my email, and it has to do with my dealing with my verification code, and that's all tangled up with the fact that I don't have a phone. Um, I just didn't connect that up. They don't have my real phone number. See, I am technically, they're saying we can't identify you in our algorithmic system, which is getting deeper into. See, I have a very, very intuitive sense of what this is. It's got to get more and more in line. See, they don't really have it that way. And in order to get that way, um, they have to eliminate a lot of jobs. They would have to eliminate a lot of bullshit jobs, really, and everybody should be happy. To never think that you have a job working as a bank teller or a car insurance salesperson, or even a lawyer that deals with those kinds of things, you know, with house insurance. That's all non-human robotic shit that can be taken care of, whatever the fuck that is in the first place. But there are people manning phones and stuff, and you can tell that it's somehow routed to their homes, and they're there to run you through communications to get your redo your fucking car insurance, which is a fucking it's a sham. It's just such a fucking a scam. Everything is right now. Everything is a free for all. If you haven't noticed, it's a freaking free for all. Plus, you know, if that whatever gives them the notion that whichever gives them the notion that it's a free for all, which is a lot of deregulating and stuff, just the condition of the political places, you know, political atmosphere driven by these warlords, non-human shit. So they they are given grants to you know the permanent fixtures, the things that we really need. Human resources are given the people in positions of power on microcosmic levels, like in my town, your town, that operate the human resources, water, even food, you know, outlets and stuff, and restaurants and stuff. Well, mainly things that would feed in. Water is huge. Yeah, um, getting grants to put poisons in there so that what I mean by grants is just, and also to just raise the bill and say, go ahead and get as much as you can because we don't have money. You figure out how to give yourself a raise because everything is there's just you know the financial institution that has control of not only human energy and how it's being used by way of producing things, but how much does that all is that all worth? They corner the market on just putting a price tag on it, right? Somehow, and it's when you look at it, it's because it's just it's a financial. It's called an institution for a reason because it's a mental imprisonment, and you're never going to get anything above the level of dumb shit and stitch up blind ass.